Remember last week we reported with some excitement the release of those furry and incredibly vulnerable Tasmanian Bettongs into the Mulligans Flat Nature Reserve. Now this was the result of years of hard work by many, but it was put at risk in a matter of hours by vandals, apparently in the name of animal rights, amidst the backdrop of the contentious kangaroo cull. Adrian Francis reports.
This radio tracking research is designed to locate the nests of a near-threatened nocturnal marsupial. These researchers are monitoring a breeding colony of Tasmanian Bettongs introduced into the Mulligans Flat Sanctuary last week.
It's a place that we've been working for many years to try and bring up to a stage where we've been releasing animals that are extinct on the mainland of Australia, and we're hoping to release them all over the eastern seaboard eventually.
Peter Mills is the ranger in charge of the almost 500-hectare woodland sanctuary in North Canberra, and this week rangers and researchers also had the task of assessing whether the 17 Bettongs, including 3 with pouched young, were dead or alive.
And when do you think it happened?
Probably sometime last night between 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock at night.
On Sunday and Monday night, vandals cut more than 30 holes in a $1.3 million boundary fence designed to keep feral animals out of the sanctuary. It was more than distressing for ranger in charge Peter Mills.
I am heartbroken. This is 3 years of work that we've put into just building the sanctuary and getting it fox-free. It's just a terrible, sad thing to happen. That, students' PhDs can be wrecked here with this sort of an attitude, and it really is awful.
The anti-kangaroo culling umbrella group Kangaroo Coalition says its members didn't cut the fence. Coalition member the Australian Society for Kangaroos spoke out against the vandalism, suggesting the offender is from interstate. But Animal Liberation spokeswoman Carolyn Drew says vandalism and trespass is justified to release kangaroos from the fenced sanctuary.
I don't think any apologies are needed. I think the kangaroos need an apology. We need an apology for the terrible devastation of kangaroo families that has occurred in the last 3 weeks.
The annual kangaroo cull in ACT reserves concludes on Tuesday. The RSPCA says there have been no official complaints of cruelty as a result of the cull.
We plan to go out every night. We've got teams on every park. We're focusing particularly on parks that we're reasonably sure the government shooters haven't been on.
This is one of 30 holes. This one's, I can't imagine what a moron has done this, to be honest. This is designed almost to let a fox in rather than a kangaroo out, if that's what they're on about.
The protesters' vehicle blocked the sanctuary gate and they wouldn't let them out. And they gestured to them like, we're going to cut your throat. And they swore at them and abused them.
I think verbal intimidation, it can be defined as intimidation, but I think it's more direct speaking. That's what I would call it. From what I hear, protesters are simply putting forward a point of view, a very hostile point of view, and I can understand that.
Carolyn Drew says she sympathises with the vandals and says she's not concerned about the backlash against the anti-cull movement on social media.
I don't think anything really damages our cause because, as far as we're concerned, we're the minority in this country. So we really have nothing to lose in terms of status because we don't have any status in this country. We're seen as a bunch of unemployed, feral losers, basically.
Just appalled. I mean, people have a right to protest. People have a right to make their points of view heard. But there's proper ways to do that. And to imperil such a venture as this, that's really a first of its kind for this area, is not the way to go about it. The risk is that the whole project will have to be abandoned. The Bettongs may have to be moved because we can't morally put them in a situation where we've put them in an enclosure for their safety and obviously that safety is being threatened.
However, rangers say they have accounted for all the Bettongs. Intensive monitoring is continuing and they're not planning to relocate them at this stage.
This place is too valuable to the whole community to destroy.
Go forth and multiply, young fella. And we've checked with the rangers today and the fence is pretty much repaired. Most importantly, all is well with the Bettongs.